Yo, welcome. So we got the quick market recap, just going over what happened with indices. They played out exactly how we just mentioned, right? We just went over this yesterday. We talked about the setup. We spoke about how we got the 4 hour confirmation that price wanted to continue to the upside, and we got just that, right? Price not only did it retest, but we also got some of this imbalance here to be filled, right? We came in the morning time around 6 a.m. with this long wick to the downside, mitigating some of this imbalance here, and then proceeding to push, over 200 pips, right? So very solid movement to the upside. Over 200 pip movement from this morning on NAS. And when it comes to US 30, similar, very similar, right? If you go ahead and mark up the structure here, we did get a very solid structure as well, right? We had lows, we had highs, we swept the lows right in there, and then we did break above, and then we did come back for that retest. So price is respecting the structure very well, right? Over 300 pips on US 30, about 200 on NAS, and I believe SPX very similar as well. It's I like how all three line up. When all three of the indices line up and they're correlating, that's when I have the most confidence, right? Boom, broke above, retested here. Now it's working its way up. So very beautiful. No complaints here. Very solid structure with everything. And if you want even more confirmation, if this 4 hour confirmation wasn't enough, we had more right in here, right above the structure. So if you go down to, let's say, the 15-minute time frame, you'll actually see that we actually were able to break above more structure. So look, if you don't know how to enter the markets, if you're new here, if you're always questioning like whether you should get in or get out, you always want to look for the same thing, right? Price is always going to do this over and over and over. And again, back test this for yourself. But this is what happens. Market comes in, it gives you some type of liquidity, whether it's one candle or multiple candles, liquidity, and then we sweep the lows and then we break above the highs. Once that happens, you want to go ahead and grab your Fibonacci tool from the lows to the highs. And then if you want the discount, which is a 50% or below, you allow price to come back into structure to mitigate off of this setup here and then take it to the next level. Very simple. Very simple. You don't even have to use the Fibonacci. I know some people do. That's why I included it. But I typically like to just use the clean chart like this. And as you can see, we've been talking about this for days, for weeks now. We had this major low, right? And we had this major high, swing low, swing high. And then we swept these lows. And then we did break above the highs in here. And price came right back down to give us a retest. Not only did it retest, it gave us another setup. This low, this high, we swept the lows and broke above. So from this point moving forward, I know the market is closed, but when it does open, if and when price does make its way back down to this setup, we can look for even more opportunities. If you missed the play this morning, right, over 200 pips captured from this area right in here, about 230 pips if you took these trades right after we swept the lows right in there. And then if you want to trade the order blocks, if you're one of those traders as well, boom, we came into there. So very solid mitigation, very solid play. Over 200 pips on NAS, about 300 on US 30. When the market does open, I would love to go ahead and take some more entries down in there. And also, once we do break above these highs, that'll be even more confirmation because this is even more setups, right? We have this low, this high. We did sweep it this morning, 6 a.m. So once we break above these highs in here, that's going to tell us that we want to continue in a bullish direction, right? And if you go back to the weekly time frame and look at the overall structure, we're still completely bullish. Even with the pullback last week, I know people got scared and whatnot. People panicked. But as we see here, we did mitigate. We did break and retest off of the previous all-time highs. Okay, 20,800. We came back here perfectly with this wick for the drop. And as you see, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. That drop last week was the higher low. So what can we expect going into the new year, going into next week, next month? We can expect another higher high. And that's just going off of the basic structure. That's not making anything confusing. That's not adding any extra indicators and layers and complications, right? People want to make trading harder than it needs to be. It doesn't need to be that hard, right? It's very simple, very basic. That's why you need to master the basics to where this becomes effortless, to where you see the setup in your sleep. I know for me personally, like I used to have dreams about this. Like I used to have dreams about the setup. It was crazy. But yeah, that's what we have for NASDAQ, indices, US 30. If you guys have any questions, I'll stay on for a few more minutes. You guys can go and let me know. But welcome in, Brandon. I see you that you just joined. Certified Snipers, let's go. Welcome to the chat. Drop some welcomes for my guy, Brandon, in the chat. Let's go. Good, glad to have you. Do you have any questions for us so far? You guys can unmute as well. What's up, Yusuf?
Oh, man. Okay, $5. Are you there yet? You bend over and your shit just be hurting? Yeah.
All right, well, I'll let you guys get back to it. I know that's the holidays. People are probably busy with their family right now. But